Hi, this is Eliot from Workload. In this video, we're going to set up a trigger of a new form response in Google Forms that we're going to learn about using our AI formatter tool by Workload to interpret that response and then make an action of sending an email in Gmail. All right, let's make a workflow. So we're going to start here at the Workload editor, and I will give my workflow a title. So this will be Google Forms to Gmail. And for our trigger, we are going to select Google Forms. Make sure I select the correct app. And we're going to do new form response will be our triggering event. I'm going to connect to my Google account. And then the form I want to use for this workflow is the contact information form. So this workflow will trigger when I get a new response to that specific form. And I'll test that trigger to see if it finds any responses. So it did. The way Google Forms works is the answers to the form, the responses, are tucked inside of these value fields. And if I click over here where it says raw console, I can see that these are hidden inside of a series of arrays. And that makes it a little bit tricky to directly take that information out and plop it into Gmail. But at Workload, we've created a tool called the Workload AI Formatter. And the way we access that is by clicking inside of the Add Action box and then clicking on the Tools icon here on the right side and then selecting the AI Formatter by Workload. We're going to format the data, because that's what we need to do, is take the data we got from our trigger and format it so it's more simple for Gmail to be able to take information out of it and send it in an email. So the input data is going to be the entire response from the trigger. So the whole output from the trigger is going to be the input to the AI tool. And I'm going to paste in a prompt that I've already written before, which is pull all of the value fields out of the input and show them as an independent response that is not contained within an array. If you've ever played around with AI tools before, there's a little bit of give and take of figuring out the exact way to word your prompt so that you get the response that you want. But the first time I tried doing this, I actually kind of made up a perfect prompt that worked. Depending on the specific situation of what you're trying to pull out and what the initial output looked like from the trigger, you might have to word this slightly differently. If you play around with it a few times, you'll probably be able to come up with a solution that works for you. So we're going to continue there, and we're going to test this AI formatting tool. And now, all that we have for our response is just the answers to our form questions. And that way, it's going to be very easy for us to pull those values out and put them into an email. So we're going to add another step to our workflow. So now we have 3 steps, and this is going to be in Gmail. And we are going to send an email, connect to our Google account. And so now we're going to use information that we formatted in our AI tool that came from our trigger in order to fill out some of these fields in the email that we're going to send. So what we're going to set this up is whenever we get a new response, this email will be sent to whoever sent that response in. So the 2 we're going to pull not from the original form response, but from the formatted version within our Workload AI Formatter tool. And the first for email, we want to select the email address. So that'll tell us who's going to get the email. We don't need any CC or BCC. If you wanted to, you could add yourself or someone for your team for one of these sections. The from email is just going to be me. Okay. And then the from name will be me. The reply to will use that same email address. The subject will be welcome, because this will be a welcome email. And then for the body of the email, you could have already written down a whole response that you could copy and paste into this field. In this case, I'm going to make it pretty simple. Hello. Thank you for signing up to our program. I see you had a concern of, and now I can take information from that AI tool to plug in from their concern. We will address that as soon as possible. Thanks. Me. Okay, so that's the email that's going to be sent to whoever sent in our form response. So we'll click continue and we'll test that action. And we can see that an email was sent. And if I actually check my inbox here, there it is. There's our welcome email. And you can see I plugged in the name, who it's to, also has that concern is dropped in there. Okay. So this is working the way that we want. We got a new form response and it sent this email. So we can go back to our workload editor and click continue here. And actually, that's the thing you want to always make sure is that all these little nodes in our workflow all have a green dot. So right now, the last step has a green dot, but the other ones are not quite ready. So sometimes it can be as simple as just clicking back into the box. Sometimes you have to retest it or click continue again at the end. But now this node is green. We'll click back up here in the trigger. Oh, now that node's green. So now everything is set up the way we want. So now we can turn on our workflow to activate it. And now that it's activated, anytime we get a new form response, then that same email will be sent, only it will replace the email address and the concern with the new information we got from their form response. So that's how you can use the AI formatter by Workload to make a workflow connecting a new form submission in Google Forms with sending an email in Gmail. Please like and subscribe this video to get more content from Workload about how to make your automations run more smoothly. See you next time.